Dear Marvel, let me explain how a pilot works. A pilot establishes the premise of a show, its characters, its plot, and its themes in the very first episode. A pilot leaves the door open for the audience to guess and hypothesize where the story is going. It leaves the future a mystery. A pilot firmly establishes the protagonist against a difficult situation or person that they must now overcome against dangerous or difficult odds. It starts a journey for its hero where their victory seems unlikely. This takes good and clever writing to help build a narrative within one episode, be it 30 minutes or an hour. For a good example of a pilot, just look across the cubicle and see what Lucasfilm did with The Mandalorian and today's topic of discussion, The Bad Batch. We're going to be covering The Bad Batch, non-spoiler and spoiler review. Benedict Cumberbatch was apparently taken out of WandaVision, according to Kevin Feige, because, well, he was white. And you know what? I really appreciate that Kevin did that, because the truth is, I've never seen a white person before. And thank God, if he had just suddenly shown up, I might have had a stroke. But in all seriousness, had Doctor Strange showed up at the last episode of WandaVision, it would have made the show, what's the word I'm looking for? Better. It would have made the show better if Doctor Strange had shown up. Andrew Garfield denies that he's a part of Spider-Man 3, the upcoming Spider-Man film, Far From Home, or whatever it's called. And the My Pillow guy goes on Jimmy Kimmel, and no one won. It's Star Wars Day. Welcome to TYs Corner. Wait, no, wrong franchise. Happy Star Wars Day. And this week, as part of Pop Culture's programming, we're covering all things Star Wars. If you missed it last night, Austin was nice enough to explain the animated universe. So for a guy like me who's been watching the movies all my life, I haven't really seen the animated stuff. I've seen maybe the first 2 seasons of Clone Wars or so, and that's it. So I didn't know who the Bad Batch were or why they're important or what role they play. But if you missed it last night, it was actually a pretty cool episode. Even if you're not interested in the animated universe, I think Austin kind of broke down what is so cool about it, and he got me interested to go back and finish Star Wars, the Clone Wars, to finish Star Wars Rebels and stuff like that. On the other hand, we did see the Bad Batch, and we're going to kind of do a non-spoiler review followed by a spoiler review. At this moment, I think Austin is a little preoccupied, so we're going to go ahead and get started without him. So I'll be honest with you, I had no idea what the Bad Batch was. I didn't know what the Bad Batch was. I had only seen the teaser or trailer or whatever. And I saw the first episode, and again, this is a non-spoiler review right here. I actually thought it was fantastic. I was introduced to these characters. I was introduced to the world. Now, obviously, to some degree, you're going to have somewhat of a background on Star Wars, but not that much. The episode kind of starts, in a continuation of the Clone Wars, which is kind of cool. It is an excellent pilot. It might be one of the best pilots I've seen. And as I did a little joke at the beginning about how Marvel doesn't know how to do pilots, or at least Disney Plus's Marvel doesn't know how to do a pilot. It establishes who the Bad Batch are. It establishes what each character is, what each quirk is. And it's kind of hard because they're technically clones. And I believe each one is still voiced by the same guy. But I thought it was an excellent opening for the Bad Batch. And I really, really enjoyed it. So before we get to the Bad Batch, Austin's going to help me do that real quick. Did you guys hear today that apparently Benedict Cumberbatch was supposed to be in the last episode of WandaVision. And I'm going to quote what Kevin Feige said. Tell me what you guys say. Here it goes. Marvel struck a deal, this is from Rolling Stone, with Benedict Cumberbatch to appear in the final episode of the show as Doctor Strange. But late in the process, they wrote him out. Some people might say, and this is now Feige speaking, quote, some people might say, oh, it would have been cool to see Doctor Strange, but it would have taken away from Wanda, which is what we didn't want to do. We didn't want to end the end of the show to be commoditized, to go to the next movie. Here's the white guy. Let me show you how power works. That means Doctor Strange, the movie, had to be rewritten too. So that's kind of strange because I know a lot of you guys were, there we go, Tuscan Productions. Tuscan, we're going to get to the Bad Batch. Austin's being a little delayed. Something's going on, but we will be here. So we're just going to talk about Doctor Strange for a little bit until he gets here. But essentially, he was supposed to show up in the last episode. And you know what? We might just jump in right now. Here we go.
Ta-da! I'm here.
Everyone's getting impatient because I was just going to move on to WandaVision and Benedict Cumberbatch. But I figured we start with a Here we go. He was excited. Tuscan was excited to talk about the Bad Batch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now that you're here, I wasn't sure when you were coming. Well, let's talk about this. We'll table the Benedict Cumberbatch conversation for later, but let's do a non-spoiler review real quick. I
non-spoiler?
Yeah, just real quick. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a really excellent pilot.
It was a 9.5 out of 10 for me. I loved it. There was really great connection to Rebels, obviously, that I didn't expect. Really great connection to Clone Wars that I didn't expect, and it seems like they've got themselves a pretty good story here that hopefully we'll see some other fun characters throughout. But I think it's really, really enjoyable, and it's really easy to watch if you haven't seen the other shows. I thought about it, besides like that one thing at the beginning, I don't think you really need to watch any of the other stuff, but it's nice to know the other stuff for sure.
Yeah. So see, you noticed all those Easter eggs. I didn't, but what I was saying was that even though I had not seen the animation, beforehand, I'd only seen maybe, the first 2 episodes of the Clone Wars. I actually loved it. I loved how well done the pilot was. I don't know if you missed my opening, but I just kind of did a whole letter to Marvel on how you do a proper pilot for a TV show. Right. So he says, Tuscan's saying he was in the final arc of Clone Wars, which you had mentioned yesterday because I haven't seen the last season.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. They have, like I said, the final arc. It literally shows Caleb Dune and his masters. So I saw hints to the Bad Batch in the Clone Wars final arc, and the planet where the Bad Batch execute Order 66. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's giving some spoilers there, I guess.
Yeah, I had no spoilers. Yeah, sorry. But I liked it a lot. I love how quickly it established each character. And while I'm not going to say that I remember all their names, I know which one is which, and I know what their personality is like. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, it was well done. It sets up the story very well, and I'm actually kind of excited to see what happens next. I thought it was a great, great pilot.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I thought it was really well done. Are we doing spoilers later? Is that the deal?
How about this? We'll get into it now. Might as well. Okay, folks, this is your warning. Cool. If you haven't seen, Ty came up with this.
This is good.
If you haven't seen The Bad Batch and don't want to be spoiled, or maybe you're not convinced you want to see it just yet, I still highly recommend watching it. We are going to go into spoilers for The Bad Batch, so let's get into it. Right off the bat, the story starts during Order 66.
Right off the bat, we start off right where we left off in the Clone Wars, actually, season 7. And it's great. It was great too. You start off, get that traditional Clone Wars feel with Tom Kane narrating.
Yeah, is that who it is? I immediately recognize that voice. That's the dude from the Clone Wars. Yeah.
Yep, is that wonderful voice of Tom Kane. He narrates that opening, and we see where the Bad Batch were during Order 66, and they were on this planet, and we see a young Caleb Dune who is actually Kanan Kanan, somebody help me here in the comments.
Are you talking about that young
Jarrus,
kid with the
Kanan Jarrus? He's the trainer of Ezra Miller.
Okay.
In Rebels.
Okay.
So in this, we get to see how he became amazing work with you. In this, we get to see how he became a Jedi and kind of where he was during Order 66, and that story that I think it had been told before through either books or something, some connection to Rebels that they had like in a book or something. But this, you got to see it on screen, and the one thing that hadn't been included in the previous version of his story and him during Order 66 was the Bad Batch. That was new, and that was added into this, and that's obviously where it starts off. So I thought that was really cool. It's cool that they're gonna probably try and make Rebels more relevant, more relevant.
Yeah. And what's cool is, so like right off the bat, everyone gets Order 66, and they're the only ones who don't react. In fact, they're like, yeah, we're getting it. What the hell's Order 66? So, I mean, this is where what's, sometimes where like it's good storytelling. They're showing you that they're different rather than them saying, explaining it. I mean, they do explain it later, but they show you that they're kind of disconnected. So you're talking about that young kid, whoever that was, that Padawan who escapes at the beginning?
Yep. So that's Kanan Jarrus from Rebels, trainer of Ezra Miller.
Okay. And he's a kid, right?
He's a kid.
Okay, he looks small, but he kind of sounded like an adult. I don't know.
They used Freddie Prinze Jr.'s voice from Rebels, which was a little weird because obviously he's a kid and Freddie is a grown man.
Yeah. Because it sounded like a grown man. I thought maybe he was just short. I'm like, nothing wrong with that, but I thought that was kind of whatever. But so I love the opening, and right off the bat, who's the one with the crosshairs on his eyes? Is his name Crosshair?
Crosshair.
Yeah, okay, wow. There we go.
Yep, Crosshair. Yeah, you got Crosshair, Ecker, Tech, Hunter, Wrecker, and Echo.
Okay. So right off the bat, he's like, I'm a good soldier. I got to do what a good soldier does, which is to follow the orders. And the leader, what's his name? Red?
Hunter.
Okay, so Hunter chases the Padawan into the forest and is trying to calm him down. Crosshair's like, no, let's kill him. And he lets him escape. And Crosshair eventually narcs on Hunter to someone who is clearly being set up as the villain, which is Grand Moff Tarkin, who does show up in this. Right. Is he in a Clone Wars?
He does have a few scenes in a Clone Wars, and he does show up, in Clone Wars and Rebels, I think, too.
Okay.
But yeah, it's cool to see him back. He's always a fun character. But the other cool surprise in addition to this was obviously Omega, who is a female clone.
Yeah,
the first female clone that we've heard of. And
do we know who she is, or is this the first time?
As far as I'm concerned, it's the first time I've heard of her. But I don't know. She may very well be in the books or something, and I don't know about it. But it's the first time I've heard of her, and we find out that she's also, she's like the Bad Batch. She's genetically modified.
Yeah. So just me, tinfoil time. Why is she a female? How is she different? Is it possible? I don't know. I mean, my first thought was, let me guess, is that Palpatine's daughter? Like, is that why she is? Remember when they show Palpatine's speech and they're all standing at attention?
Right.
She's up there with like everyone else. Like she's up there standing there. I'm like,
well, with those things, they those are the things that created the clones, that made the clones.
Yeah.
But I don't really know much about her character. I was thinking maybe she's a girl because she was never meant to be in the battlefield. She's a medical assistant, is what they keep saying. So maybe they I don't know. I have no idea why.
Maybe she's a child of a clone. I mean, we're assuming they're telling us she's a clone, but maybe she's a child of one of the clones.
Yeah, I really don't know.
But later on, we see her use a blaster pretty well,
Yep. And that's the thing. So that's how we know she's one of the Bad Batch. And then I think Tech kind of confirms it earlier, and says, because Echo wasn't genetically modified. He's basically a regular. So the fifth they're talking about was Omega.
Oh, okay. So basically they return. What's that planet called? Bespin? No, that's Cloud City. That's Cloud City. What's that planet called where they make the clones? From Attack of the Clones.
Gosh,
does anyone know?
On Camino.
Okay, so they go there. They have a place there. That's sort of their home, for lack of a better word. And Tarkin all of a sudden notices that they're kind of different. You know, they start a fight in the cafeteria over Omega. They kind of do things by their way. And Tarkin says, hey, did they kill their Jedis? And they're like, as far as we know, they did. And he's like, no, but one of them reported that they let him go. So then they put them in this kind of like a live simulation. And then they start using real weapons, and they basically have to fight for their lives. And then Tarkin essentially sends them on a mission to go kill. Did they say it was droids? It was supposed to be droids they were supposed to kill?
Insurgents.
Members of insurgents, right. And when they get there, they basically find Saw Gerrera, and they see families and children, you know, people who are clinging to the Old Republic. And again, Crosshair's like, nope, we got to kill them. We were told this is what we're told to do. And he's like, no, we're not. But it's kind of a trap because then stormtroopers or clone troopers surround them. And they're basically, you know, in trouble for disobeying Grand Moff or Admiral Tarkin, as he's called here.
Yep.
And the episode record says I like this kid twice, but as a sus, right? He says I like this kid when she throws and hits one of the clone troopers with food.
Right. Yeah, because Wrecker loves violence. He's fun. I love Wrecker. I think he's one of the most entertaining, on the show. I think he's going to really hit home with audiences.
Yeah.
And I really look forward. He got shot twice last night, so I was kind of worried for a second there. I was like, dude, this dude can take a bullet. Like,
yeah. And I was actually concerned that maybe one or two of them might die to get the story moving. And that's, again, a sign of a good show, because I was so sure that Crosshair was going to join them at the end, you know, like that's where they're setting it up, like, he's going to be against them, but then he's going to turn on the, but no, it seems they did something to him when they took. So basically, the Bad Batch is captured. They're thrown into a detention cell, and they take Crosshairs out, and Tarkin says to do something to the chip that allows them to control him, right?
Right.
And basically enhance that.
They enhance that, and they put him. I don't know what they do, but he asked them, "Hey, can you enhance it?"
Yeah.
Because they find out that it's still effective, but not fully getting to him.
Okay, so do you agree with Tuscan? He says that Crosshairs was the most boring in the Clone Wars. Now his villain his character is great.
I'm not gonna lie, I should actually go back and rewatch the episodes of the Bad Batch and the Clone Wars, because it's been a year and I don't really remember.
See, this is why I don't buy toys anymore. He says we all knew he was going to be available for the Lego sets. I did not.
Right.
I was never a Legos fan. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, I never was either, because they hurt when you step on them. So I have a few Star Wars things, but
yeah, I don't know. I think I was small and I had them, but my sister was a baby. She'd keep eating the Lego pieces, so my parents just stopped buying them.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I kind of like the sort of thing they're setting up, that, okay, Tarkin's going to be the overall arching villain, and maybe Crosshairs is going to be sort of the surrogate villain.
Right.
For them, their direct line, because now it's personal. You know, he sees them as a traitor, they see him as a traitor, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting for sure. I didn't expect them to do like a full... I thought, by the end of the episode, like you said, he'd be, back with the team, but it's going to be interesting. And obviously he's not at his own will, so we'll see if maybe somebody can get to him at some point too.
Yeah. So what's the likelihood that we see Cody or Rex? Do you know who
Pretty likely. Very likely. They're clones. They're the clones from the Clone Wars that were with Ahsoka. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm thinking of, I'm sure we're going to see them and Ahsoka and probably some other people that we weren't expecting to see. I mean, from last night already, just seeing the connection to Rebels was pretty strong. No, it is not, Adam. It is not a spoiler-free review.
Yes, so we did a non-spoiler review for about 30 seconds. Honestly, like, you'll see. We're not ruining it for. I still highly recommend that you watch it. I actually really enjoyed it more than I thought it would, because I did not see the previous episodes.
Actually, do you want to go ahead and give a little spoiler-free review? Because I got to go check on something real quick.
I already did, but I'll do it again.
Cool.
Go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing.
If you want to do WandaVision or whatever, I'll be right back.
All right. Okay. So we'll take a break. So Austin's got to take care of some stuff. But let me ask you this real quick. How many of you in the comments actually watched it? And those of you who watched it, did you enjoy it? So obviously, I think Tuscan, you saw it. I'm guessing you liked it. Adam, did you not see it last night or this morning or whenever? It's actually a pretty good show. And again, as someone who's not really into the animated world that much, I'd only seen the first 2 seasons of the Clone Wars. I really liked it. It was a really well-made pilot. It was about an hour long, maybe an hour and some change. And a lot happens, and it's just fun storytelling. And if this is what we're going to get moving forward from Lucasfilm in terms of quality, in terms of writing, I thought this was just excellent, an excellent start. And again, I have not really seen Clone Wars or Rebels. I've never even seen Rebels or any of the other cartoon animated shows, but I thought I was really into it. So let me ask you guys that. All right, so who saw it? So Gavin Cooley, you liked it, 9 out of 10. Austin gave it a 9.5 out of 10. He really enjoyed it. Adam, you said you did see it or you didn't see it. I'm not sure. I'm guessing that you didn't see it if you're asking that. But do we have a guest joining us? Oh, Tyler's joining us. Ty, do you want to join us? Hey, did you want to join us or was that? Oh, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I've never actually used this microphone. I don't know which.
Okay, yeah.
Red is mute. Blinking is I thought blinking was on. Oh yeah. Okay. But well, I figured Austin left, so I'll step in for a second.
Yeah. Did you take a look at it?
What?
Did you see the episode?
No.
Bad. I really liked it because I haven't really seen the Clone Wars or Rebels, but I thought it was it's a good introduction to the story they're telling. I wasn't like, who's that? Why is this happening? What am But it does start with Order 66. So the Bad Batch are on mission with a Jedi general. And basically, this is just the first few minutes. Like you hear execute Order 66. And they're like, what the hell's going on? Like they're kind of confused. They're like, I don't know what's going on. And the story kind of starts from there. But I really liked it.
Okay.
So,
yeah. It's just not something for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Neither was the Clone Wars or Rebels. But I think I've always been like that. I said it this morning. Too. It's just, I'm excited that it's happening. I'm excited that Disney Plus is doing things like that for you guys. But for me, the animation just gives me a headache.
Yeah. It's like a pseudo Toy Story.
Yeah.
But, okay. So what did you hear about? Did you hear about the WandaVision thing?
Yes.
Yeah. What did you think of that?
It's super stupid.
Yeah. I mean,
we were talking about it this morning. So to write out a character simply because you think that people are going to be like, "Ooh, the white guy with power." Really?
Yeah.
Really? I spent the whole series wondering where he was because literally in his film, he is the defender of all things magic and mystic from the realm. So if this big bubble made from magic shows up on the world, the military's involved, yada yada, there's no reason to believe that he wouldn't be there. And I like the idea that he was the one that was sending in the commercials to try to break her down a little by little. Like that's a full win to take that out.
And Kevin said, well, we didn't want him to show up and say, like, here's how you do magic. We're like, well, there are other ways you could. He doesn't have to be someone who teaches her magic. He could have come in to help, and I don't know. The comment didn't sit well with me. Like, well, we don't want to see another white guy come in. I'm like,
yeah, the white guy with power. It's like, dude, 99% of your characters are white with power.
Exactly.
So you haven't cared before. What's stopping you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, forget about Miss Fisto. I mean, I think it would have been kind of cool to see him show up at the end, even if it was a cameo, like, Wanda, let me help you through it, or maybe he's, instrumental in breaking her out of it. But I don't know. That just seems like
it was a missed opportunity. It was a missed a judgment call that I'm pretty sure he might think he did the right decision by cutting him, but in reality, he took away something from the show because people were hyped to see this Disney Plus thing kind of take off and have it be crossing into the movies and doing all these different things. And then to be built up with the expectation that we're going to see more characters than, maybe just Wanda or Vision. And then not deliver on it. I think that's what amplified the sour mood people had for WandaVision.
Yeah. And like you had said so many times, it probably should have been the first show.
Hell no.
To start phase 3.
Hell no.
But like I said, I feel like there's so many missed opportunities. I'm not saying they have to have a cameo every single episode, but it kind of felt like it built towards nothing that we kind of figured out to show in the first episode. Yeah.
That one was a no-brainer. Not only is she going to show up in his movie, but they're going to be on some adventure together. Why not start it in WandaVision?
Yeah.
Like, okay, now we have it. Now it ends. Now WandaVision ends with her reading through the Darkhold, right?
Yeah.
And that's our lead in to Doctor Strange. And one mention of him. You're more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. Like, no, it would have been cooler to have him show up, and that's where their adventure began.
Yeah.
Right? The playing into PC culture is really what did it for me.
I hope it doesn't don't keep making decisions like that.
Because
I don't care that he's white. It doesn't make a difference to me.
Yeah. Like, if Kevin came out and said, "Listen, we just don't think the timing was right." Okay.
Yeah.
You haven't steered me wrong yet.
Yeah.
So I'll take that. But as soon as you bring that one line, the white guy with power, then you lost me.
Yeah.
You lost me at that point. Because, okay, so what do we do for Doctor Strange's movie? He's the white guy with power.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
We're going to have to get rid of him and make her the hero. They'll probably make her the hero, probably, Whereas Daredevil, Spider-Man, Punisher, or literally everyone else. Yeah, that's kind of true because they are in New York.
Every character is white. It just none of it sat well with me. And I think that sorry, I'm probably breaking up a little bit. I'm upstairs. So I'm not directly connected, fine, unfortunately. Okay. I'm not, as you can tell, I'm not in the studio downstairs, but I saw Austin pop out. Was that like planned, or did he have to do something?
No, he told me there was something going on at home, so he kind of warned me a few ahead of time. I do want to talk about Spider-Man real quick. Are you on board for that?
Yeah, we did it this morning, man.
All right. So let's
that's another thing.
Yeah, but before we do that, let's hear a word from our sponsors.
We are brought to you today by Smooth My Balls. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, are you sick of cutting yourself, nipping yourself with those old razors that you've used 412 different times? Well, Smooth My Balls has you covered. Your #1 source for male grooming products. Dedicated to providing you the very best trimmers with an emphasis on service, friendliness, and overall good experiences. Smooth My Balls has come a long way from its beginnings in England. When they first started out, their passion was for male grooming. That drove them to start their own business and to find the best products suitable for easy grooming. You will thank me later, your privates will thank me later, and your partner will thank me later, because you're gonna be smooth as an egg. Trust me. Use code POP at checkout for 15% off your entire order. Limit one order per household per day. Guys, girls, get on it. Shave up. Get it.
We have new sponsors. We're getting fancy now. That was some great voice. That had me laughing a little bit. That was great. You know what? That's actually, something people should look into, I think. People need to be less gross and more.
Yeah, and they reached out to me, and I had asked them. I said, "Can you send me something?" And they're sending me their thing. But I watched some reviews because I wasn't going to accept it until I tried it. But then I watched reviews on YouTube, and people seem to like it. Maybe not as much as Manscaped, but it's still a good product, and they're trying to compete with Manscaped. So
I might actually buy that. We're going to do a live demonstration on the first episode of Jiving with Jack. We're going to record Tyler. It's for educational purposes.
Nudity.
Yeah,
but yeah, so head over 15% off. Not a bad deal.
It's not bad.
The turf chopper. What is it called? I always forget it. Because it's the actual shaver is it's like $70. So
oh really?
It takes like $12 off. So that's
that's pretty good.
Pretty hefty discount on it. So
yeah,
definitely check it out, guys. And I'm excited. They got a bunch of stuff too. So ball bomb.
Ooh, okay.
Ball bomb.
Never nip your sack again.
Never nip your sack again. But yeah, so Spider-Man 3.
Yeah. So to give everyone background, Andrew Garfield was like, "Nope, I'm not in it." What do you think that was?
So me and Austin actually got an argument this morning about it.
Okay.
For him saying that for people to chill their expectation or chill and temper your expectations, he's setting us up so we don't think. I mean, so we don't do the WandaVision thing. He's not in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'll put. I said it this morning. I'll say it again. I put 500 down right now to anyone who wants to bet me 500 proof of funds. Let's go. He's not in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, sadly. I think a lot of the sources for this are like wegotThiscovered.com. According to them, everyone's in this movie. Toby's in this movie. Daredevil's in this movie. Kingpin's in this movie. You know, everyone is in it. And I'm like, the movie's called Spider-Man. He's supposed to be the main character. Like, and I feel like if they have too many cameos, that might detract from the story. And
yeah, and I think that's why they're bringing the villains in, because you can still say, "Hey, look, we're tapping into this universe," without bringing the actual Spider-Man in, right? So it's our Spider-Man fighting villains from different Spider-Man universes. That's how you get around this whole thing. You don't have to bring in Toby and Andrew because they're probably expensive.
Yeah,
but then you can still include their universes by bringing the villains in, like Jamie Foxx and Alfred Molina.
Like, even within like the multiverse, sometimes the villains can look the same and the heroes can look different. I'm kind of thinking about the James Bond movies. For the longest time, they always had that one actor who played Q up until the 90s. He was the Q for Connery, for Roger Moore, and they never explain why is Q always the same guy, but James Bond changes. It was just like, he's Q,
Right.
And I was kind of okay with that. The same thing with Judi Dench's character. I think she started in the Pierce Brosnan movies as sort of the head of MI5, and then all of a sudden it's Daniel Craig. You don't explain it. She's whoever she is, whatever. I don't know what her name is, but like she's that character. So you would think that because we know that J. Jonah Jameson is the same now in both the other universe and this universe. Do you think the Alfred Molina will be from the Toby world?
I wouldn't even go as far to say as J. Jonah Jameson's the same.
Well, I'm saying the same. He looks the same.
Yeah, I think he's a different version of himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that I think it's going to be the way that when Alfred dropped the ball. He said it. He said that it picks up right as Spider-Man. Was it Spider-Man 2?
Oh yeah, because he dies technically.
Yeah,
at the end of Spider-Man 2.
It picks it up right there in the river and grabs him, and they take him. So, whatever, like he is that version. That's the thing.
Okay.
So he confirmed, unless he was just pulling chain,
Yeah.
He could totally be pulling chain on us and redirect.
Don't forget that Sam Raimi's now part of the MCU with Doctor Strange too. So like, connecting those universe, and those movies are beloved,
Yeah. And
they want to pull people in.
And I think Spider-Man's going to be in Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
So imagine Sam Raimi getting to direct, not direct, but he would be direct. I mean, direct another Spider-Man, but a different version.
That'd be so interesting.
Yeah, it would be interesting, and I think it'd be cool. It'd become full circle. But I don't really care if Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield shows up in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
If they give me a good story.
Yeah.
expand the multiverse the way that we've wanted it to be expanded for a long time now, and it's a compelling, finality to a trilogy, then I'm happy. I really am.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I don't need a Spider-Verse live action film right away. Hey, how about we introduce Miles Morales instead of two other Peter Parkers?
Yeah.
How about we do that first?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't always a huge Miles Morales fan, but that Into the Spider-Verse movie changed my mind, and that new video game changed my mind. I was like, all right, I'm down.
Yeah.
He's just not a person of color who acts like Peter Parker. He's got his own personality, his own thing.
He's even got a set of power, a different power set than Peter. And I think I would be more prone to liking something that had Miles in it over than hitting me with nostalgia.
Okay, yeah, I agree. And it's kind of funny. There are rumors. This is kind of connected to the whole multiverse thing, but that Michael Keaton is in England, rumored. And supposedly, I haven't seen the photos. There are rumors that the 1989 Batmobile has been spotted being brought in to England because that's where they're filming the Flash.
Are you switching gears here?
A little bit. I was just saying it's kind of on the same thing. Yeah, we're still with Spider-Man, but I was just saying because they're also doing the multiverse thing. Which one do you think would be better? The Flash multiverse or multiverse?
Oh, actually,
or do you think
you know what's funny? You know what's really funny about this is Justice and I on air wrote out a contract about which movie's going to be better and which because we for a while we were talking about why the Flash and Spider-Man are pretty much being put up against each other. In a sense that they're both doing kind of the same thing. Yeah. I took the Flash. And
I think the Flash one might be better. Yeah. That's not to say Spider-Man won't be good, but I think Flash will be better too.
I'm with the Flash.
I feel like did DC announce they were going to do the whole multiverse thing before Marvel? Or am I making that up?
Nope. You got it right.
Because I feel like I heard the announcement of Michael Keaton coming back way before they announced that Spider-Man would be doing multiverse and Doctor Strange would be doing multiverse. I could be wrong.
No, you're right because it wasn't until the Flash that was announced to be what it was that then they took Spider-Man. That's when they started switching things around. Yeah. And they moved Doctor Strange, they moved Spider-Man, they moved Thor, and then they announced that the Spider-Man then we started getting hints at what was happening.
Yeah. So like the MCU Spider-Man,
DC was ahead.
Yeah, because the MCU Spider-Man movies have been more smaller scale. Like in the Sam Raimi ones, or even the Andrew Garfield ones, the city was at stake. Like the whole city was being threatened. New York could be destroyed at any second, and the only person who can stop is Spider-Man. Whereas, Homecoming and Far From Home, kind of were like smaller scale stories, more personal stories that were connected to his personal life. And I would imagine that this new Spider-Man 3, pardon me, will most likely be a larger scale story. It has to be. If they're doing
think about Captain America, right?
Yeah.
So just the frame mindset, right? Is the two first films. Yeah, they're different in respective ways because for Captain America, really, sometimes the world is at stake in those first two movies. But the same kind of way they ended it with Civil War, which is this giant, culmination film. I think Spider-Man will be the same way. His third film is going to be a culmination of it might even very well be able to stand as an Avengers movie.
Maybe.
I think that Spider-Man's going to take it. I think he's going to be one of the leaders of the Avengers going forward.
Yeah, and even then I forgot Electro's going to be in this too, right? Jamie Foxx is Electro, right?
Jamie Foxx is Electro, yeah. So
yes.
And
so do you think there's someone pulling them from the multiverse and bringing them into the MCU world? Do you think it's something like that? Like there's another villain who's pulling these strings.
So if you were to believe Alfred Molina, he says that the sling ring thing happens. When Doctor Strange uses the sling ring to kind of open a portal, he said that's what happens in his situation. So who knows? I mean, I just want to know, why are they grabbing villains?
Yeah. Oh, who's the villain from Doctor Strange? He wasn't the villain, but it turns out he's the villain. Mordo. Didn't they kind of set him up? Yeah.
They did set him up. And
the bill must be paid. The bill comes due. Sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the one who's like, all right, that'd be kind of cool.
Oh, actually, you could be right. Because he just mentions that it's the portal like Doctor Strange's. He doesn't say it's Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it doesn't say it's Doctor Strange's, yeah. So it could be Mordo who's like, who might be pulling around I don't know. That'd be kind of cool.
You're probably right, honestly.
That'd be kind of neat.
Mordo
and it could be the best Spider-Man movie because he doesn't have Iron Man to save him.
Well,
he doesn't have Captain America to save him, you know.
But then on the other side of it, you would have it. Well, wouldn't Strange go get their Spider-Mans though?
Maybe
we got to fight them, and it's like a Civil War kind of scenario, but it's like heroes to villains on each multiverse or each universe is, that would be kind of cool too, though.
That would be kind of cool too, yeah. Unless like the bad guys pulling them from other universes, and Doctor Strange is like, we can't do that. You're not supposed to do that, if they had to. Kind of talk them with those. So like, I mean, Toby's what, in his 40s now? He's gotta be.
Yeah, he's gotta be 43, 44 now.
Yeah,
he's too old, man. He's too old. And then Andrew Garfield's got too much going on. He's too cool as Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He was too cool, man. That was his problem. I don't think he was a good Peter Parker because he was a good in-suit Spider-Man, but I didn't buy his Peter Parker.
Yeah,
as being who he was.
I also kind of bugged me, especially with him and Toby, was their age. Not really their acting, but their age. They were both in their late 20s playing, high schoolers, And I was like, oh, come on. They're clearly not teenagers, And so Tom Holland was 19 in Civil War, but at least he looks still young, And because of the whole snap situation, they can explain why he's still in high school after 5 years,
Yes. That was actually a really that did work out on their favor, like super hard. But if I was to say the movie that I'm more excited about between The Flash and Spider-Man, I would say The Flash. But I would say Spider-Man is definitely up there.
Yeah.
It's just the Spider-Man character really like I'm not as in love as everyone else is with Spider-Man.
With the MCU Spider-Man or just as Spider-Man in general?
In general.
Okay.
I'm not as like over the hills for Spider-Man as most people are. But I still like the character. I think his introduction in Civil War was fire. I think it was great. Just that was Peter Parker for me. The way he's tinkering with old computers and stuff, and then just his mannerisms. I think Tom Holland captures like very well. But yes, I mean, so the old Batmobile in England, him joining. So, what do you think about the Flash? Do you think people are going to boycott it?
I hope they don't. I know everyone seems kind of like upset that it seems like the Snyderverse is not continuing. I'm still holding out hope. I think that, I think AT&T and HBO Max still have a role to play, but I don't think they're going to be using it to erase the Snyderverse. They might maybe reframe what the DCEU is going to be, but I know I'll be watching it. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to go watch it when it comes out. At Showcase Cinemas.
Yeah. And Showcase Cinemas Deluxe. But speaking of which, so Army of the Dead got released in certain theaters, but it's only it's only Cinemark right now.
Oh.
Which we don't have any of those around here. So I don't know about you. I mean, the closest one to me is New Hampshire, and that's 30 miles away. It's like an hour. But as of right now, Army of the Dead is exclusively to Cinemark. So I don't know if there's one near you. Cinemark
I've heard of it.
Yeah. But other than that, what's going on with this MyPillow guy?
Okay, so the MyPillow guy, Jimmy Kimmel brought him onto his show to have an honest conversation.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I don't know. Austin wanted to talk about it. It was really awkward. It's like 19 minutes. And like, it's just weird.
I don't care. Austin left us here, so.
Do we want to take a look at it? I don't know if we can get
if you can find a clip of it,
all right,
go ahead and do it. I'll let you pull the trigger on this one
because
I'm interested to see, because this must have been the most awkward conversation in the world.
Yeah, it was really weird. I feel like Jimmy was trying to show like he's really like enlightened. Like, look, I brought someone who's, a Republican on, and blah blah blah.
Well, the
and
thing
everything.
is, the My Pillow guy's a crackhead.
Yeah, he is. Well, then he keeps making that joke because then I felt like Jimmy was kind of going below the belt. They only have the full thing, but I could start it and we can watch a few minutes of it.
It might get flagged. Because remember what I was trying to tell you last night is, if you play something that is embedded, and it's like when you play a full movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if you watch 5 minutes of the full movie. YouTube still recognizes it as you played the full movie because it's embedded in it that it's the entire thing. So that becomes a problem, and that's when they take you down.
Yeah, because I'm trying to go through other sites and they're all linking to the same. Yeah, they're all linking to the same long interview. That's the problem. But it's just so weird. He was just like he keeps talking about I was a drug addict and blah blah blah, and then Trump did this, and I think they should look into the elections. And then Jimmy would throw a joke at him like well, it's probably because you did a lot of crack, and that's why. Which I was like, all right, dude. But the My Pillow guy seemed to have a sense of humor, but he didn't get mad or angry. He seemed to be having fun. I think Jimmy was trying to get under his skin, but didn't quite work. It was kind of a disaster. If anything, it made the My Pillow guy seem cooler.
Right.
He just Austin wanted to talk about it because he's got all these theories and stuff like that about how it could have done better and stuff like that. But whatever. It was kind of a train wreck.
Dude,
I highly recommend watching it. So
no, I'm gonna put it on the other screen for myself.
Oh, okay. You're gonna put it on the other.
But yeah, so for myself, so I can gauge on it.
Yeah.
What would you give the Bad Batch? I asked Austin earlier, but what would you give it?
I'd give it a
score?
strong 8 out of 10. I don't want to I'd give it something higher, but then I feel like if you like something, you give it too high of a score. I would say a strong 8 maybe 8.3 out of 10. It was a pretty good pilot for someone who's not familiar with the animated world. I was able to follow the story and I liked where it was going, and I was like, okay, I can get behind this. So I really like that part of it. I'm curious moving forward. Are they going to keep the same story going on, or is it going to be like the Clone Wars, where each episode is kind of self-contained? I would like to see more of an arc, given how the
Clone Wars was the Clone Wars was anthology style.
So each episode it's the same characters, but each episode they're dealing with a new problem, And then according to Austin, the later series they do more arcs, 5 or 6 episodes telling one story. But I'm curious which direction they're going to go with the Bad Batch. Are they going to do, a serial, or are they going to do each episode is self-contained? But if they're releasing it 1 week at a time, I think they're going to have to tell one big story to kind of keep people connected.
Right. And so now forget, because I asked Austin this, but I feel like he's kind of biased. Do you think it's geared towards children?
Definitely, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
there is violence in it.
No,
you do see death in it. There is death in it, and there is violence in it, but it's very neutered. Maybe a TVY 7, it's not for 4-year-olds, but
right.
Because there's violence in it. So I don't know. I'd show my kids it, but then other parents would be like, "Oh no, you're showing people getting shot by blasters." So
yeah.
Whereas I would say compared to Clone Wars, Clone Wars was a lot more, I think, tame. I feel.
How is the animation?
It's the exact as Clone Wars. It's that same style of. It's literally a file. So every episode of Clone Wars would start with a guy introducing. This is what's happening. The rebels are doing this. And it starts the same way. It almost feels like an episode of the Clone Wars. I'm like, crap, I'm going to be lost now. But it's actually a pretty easy to follow story if you have not kept up with the cartoons. All you have to know is what happened in Revenge of the Sith, and you're pretty much set.
Okay. Because that's what I was kind of worried about is I don't like especially cartoon, someone got mad at me for calling it a cartoon, but that's kind of what it is. So, but I don't like I don't want to watch something that's geared towards children. I'm glad they're like being I hope they have some exclusivity, for Star Wars fans of all ages.
Yeah.
And have it be something that even if you're 40, you could watch and be like, oh, I like this. I'm having a good time.
Lucas himself always said that Star Wars was mainly geared towards children. Like he was kind of shocked by how many older people liked it. And I was like, I'm offended. I liked it. I've liked it since I was a kid. I like it now.
Yeah. I like it. I think it's good in the way that, it's pretty timeless for Star Wars. It's pretty timeless in the sense that, you can't really date it. You can't look into the universe of Star Wars and be like, well, that's a 1989 Chevy, right?
Yeah.
So you could watch it whenever you want and be like, oh, this is, whatever. This could be happening right now. But and that's what I've always liked about it is it's not here. It's not on Earth. It's got some mystical stuff to it. And I've said it before. That's what I like is I like something that I couldn't walk out the front door and just see happening. So Star Wars has always done a good job of that. I wouldn't say necessarily that I felt like even the films are geared towards little kids. But the fans that went to the originals are now like 60 years old, 50 years old. So I'm not sure. Like, are they liking this show?
Yeah,
that's basically what I'm asking.
Up until I can remember a period in my life up until 1999, there were only 3 movies, and that was it. That was like, it's crazy to think about it now, but that was it. There were only 3 movies and like 1 prequel, and it's great. Now, of course, you have 9, 10, 11 movies. Is that how many we have? We got the 9 main ones. We got Rogue One and Solo. 11 movies, several animated shows. 1 live action as of right now. We got more live action coming on the way. I'm kind of surprised they never did this before, but I guess the technology didn't exist to do it before.
But I actually have to go.
Okay.
I'm kind of I feel bad though. I don't want to leave you.
No, that's fine. I'll find something to talk about.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
If not, I do have to leave soon anyway, but maybe I'll have someone from any of our patrons in the comments. Let me see.
Anyone want to hop in?
Yeah, you guys want to hop in?
Anyone can hop in. Even if you're not a Patreon, you can hop in. But all right, so let me know if you need anything. All
right.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th.
Right? What is it?
Too. No, that's from Star Trek. That was
I
me
know.
That's the Vulcan thing.
But and then go to trivia, guys.
I'll be at Bonks. In fact,
mention Pop Culture Corner, baby.
Yeah,
free drink.
Yep.
All right,
guys. All right, man. In fact, this is a good time to hear from our sponsors, folks. If you want to join the show, let me know in the comment section. I'll bring you on. All right. But first, a message from Bonks Bar.
We are brought to you today by Bonks Bar in Philadelphia. Bonks specializes in seafood and good times. If you're in the Philly area, make sure to stop by, and on Tuesdays, our resident producer Jack hosts trivia at the bar. Mention Pop Culture Corner to Jack and receive your first drink on the house. For more information about the menu or specials, visit the website for Bonks or their social media pages. All of the links are in the description below. This was an easy one, guys. Head out, support your local service industry. Go to Bonks, grab some seafood, some beer and wine, play some trivia, and have a good time.
Yeah, Jack is going solo or dolo. As Billy Roberts was saying, dolo. I'm going dolo. I'm going dolo. I'm going dolo. Even when I'm gone, I'm here. So if any of you guys want to jump in, you're more than welcome to jump in. I've done the show by myself before. But essentially, so if you guys did see Bad Batch, I recommend it just to watch the first episode. Tell me what you think, if that's something you're worth your time, if you'd be interested in seeing that. Let me go back to No S. Go Dolo. What does Dolo mean? Hold on, let me Google that. You see, Dolo means rolling Dolo into the club. Means secretly or using a sang impression on the Dolo. Phrased solo Dolo, which means, okay, all right, I guess I am going Dolo. Let's talk a little bit about the WandaVision thing. And like, what did you guys think of the decision? So again, I'm going to read the quote again that Kevin Feige gave. And this is what Kevin said. Quote, some people might say, oh, it would have been so cool to see Doctor Strange, but it would have taken away from Wanda, which is what we didn't want to do. Okay, that I can understand. But this is what gets me riled up. Here we go. He continues. We didn't want the end of the show to be commoditized to go to the next movie. Here's the white guy. Let me show you how power works. And like, to me, it's like if that's, oh, no S. You keep calling it Billy Roberts. Oh, Billy Robert. Oh, Billy Robert. It also applies to Dolo. Okay, well, there you go. What happened to that kid? If you guys are, Adam, you're a patron. If you're welcome, if you guys are interested in joining the show, we got about 25 minutes or 20 minutes left. What did you guys think about this? Because to me, like, this is going too far. Like, look, I've been told that I'm a person of color. I grew up watching these superheroes. I didn't care about their race. I really didn't. Like, Superman was my hero. I grew up with the Chris Reeve Superman. He was Superman. Spider-Man, also white. That was not I had no issues with Spider-Man being white or Doctor Strange being white or any of these characters being white. You know, what are you going to say about the clones? They're all white. Although technically the actor they're based off is New Zealander. Maybe not. Maybe that doesn't count as much. But like, I feel like this is sometimes where they go a little too far with the political correctness. Look, I'm for diversity and all that stuff. But like, if that was your reasoning that you can't have Doctor Strange because you don't want a white guy in there telling a white woman what to do. Well, first of all, that didn't have to be the interaction. You don't need Doctor Strange coming there and telling Wanda what to do. He could be there to help her. He could be there to try to get her out of the situation. And this is where I get a little bit, a little bit frustrated with that. And I hope that's not the direction. If he had given every reason that he gave except that one, I'd have been fine with it. Like, I don't care. Like, Doctor Strange, I don't know, people might say, well, that's because you're a male. And I'm like, no, that's not what it is for me, and I'm kind of worried moving forward that that's what they're going to keep doing. Like, look, politics in movies have always been done. But like I always say this about BVS, it injects the politics without giving you an answer. These days, the movies and TV shows, they're giving you the answer, and this is the correct answer, and this is why you're bad. They're kind of turning into the Oscar speeches. You know, the Oscar speeches where they lecture you about why you're bad and they're good, and this is what you should believe. That type of sort of condescending attitude, I hope, doesn't get into the MCU, because the MCU has been so great so far. And yeah, so unfortunately, Austin is even before the show, if you noticed, it took him a second to get in. He's dealing with something personal. He told me about it. He just texted me. He probably won't be returning to the show, so it'll just be me. It's just me. You could just say, if it's just Jack, you could say it's Jiving with Jack, which comes and airs on May 25th, 2021. Yep, that's what we're doing. Jiving with Jack. And Tyler made this word. Jiving with Jack will take over. So it'll be me and Austin. And if Austin can't fill in, it'll be Tyler. If I can't do it, it'll be Tyler taking over for Jiving for Jack, just like I'm doing TY's Corner. It's like one big circle. But basically, it'll be Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we have a couple of cool ideas. We have a segment called Jack Attack. We don't necessarily do it every episode. We might do it once a week. Then we have a segment called Flossing with Austin that we're kind of looking forward to. We're probably going to doing a lot more hot takes about pop culture. And despite what Austin says, I still want to talk about the Snyderverse. You know what? Let's talk about the Snyderverse. We haven't talked about it for a while. I kind of miss talking about the Snyderverse, honestly, as much as I enjoy talking about Star Wars and stuff like this. Honest to God, in the comments section, do you think it's coming back? Because I do listen to our friends at Lightcast and Cultured Nerd. Tyler knows them very well. And I'm not saying take everything to say is gospel truth, but them and our colleague War Stew have been saying that there's a bit of a civil war going on in Warner Brothers, and that the numbers for the Snyder Cut have been excellent. I mean, it crashed HBO Max, and they're saying it was all right. It did okay. It was okay. Well, even if it did okay, the fact that it's a 3-year-old movie should be a sign that it did well. Anyway, what our friends at the Culture Nerd, Lightcast, and Warstu are saying, and they have been right all along. They said that the Snyder Cut was coming to HBO Max well before anyone else. They said Ben Affleck was coming back to the DCU well before anyone else, months before it was announced, before DC fandom, that Affleck was coming back. They're saying that there is internal conflict between the Hamadaverse and the Snyderverse. And here we go. Yeah, here we go. Rock is apparently behind it. Hey, Justin's here. Justin Hines, or as Tyler said, Justin Hins. But yeah, that's my buddy Justin there. But like, if The Rock wills it, it can't be done. Because remember, The Rock's manager is his ex-wife. And that's Henry Cavill's manager. And she's doing a good job. He's in The Witcher. He's in Mission Impossible. So, there's a universe. It's so weird talking about the Snyder Cut like this because we haven't talked about the Snyder Cut in a while. But I hope that the Flash movie is not a way to kind of like cut that out, like just erase the past DCEU. And I hope they don't do that. I hope that he's allowed to finish his movies. I'm really interested to see what Justice League 2 and 3 would look like now. Because, yeah, he had his original plan, but chances are if he were to make it now, if Chris Terrio were to write the script, he would incorporate Shazam. He would incorporate Harley Quinn more. He would incorporate some of the Birds of Prey that we saw in that. That'd be kind of cool. I want to see British Mira. I kind of like the British Mira. Let the bastard come. I'm like, yeah, let the bastard come. I actually kind of like the British accent. She sounded better. I don't know. I know she's an American, but and she was American in Aquaman. But yeah, I would love to see it. Apparently, a lot of rumors are circulating that Ben Affleck wants to do the Batman HBO series, but he wants Snyder to be involved. And it's just a shame. Zach has a relationship with Warner Brothers going back to 2006 when he started, when he did 300. And before that, because, he had to make the movie, he made it in 2005. So he's been with them for about 15, 16 years. And it's just a shame to see the way they're kind of treating him, which is sad because for the first time in a long time, people have been talking about the DCEU. And it's because of the Snyder Cut. And just for people to just dismiss it, leave it open-ended. I mean, don't you want to see how... Let's talk about that like post-credit scene, or it's not a post-credit scene, but the scene at the end, the nightmare sequence in the Snyder Cut. Don't you want to know how all these people got together? The Joker, Slade Wilson and Batman working together. Like, what led to that? What led to the Joker working with Batman and Batman working with Joker? There's some really cool stuff in there, and you're just gonna, no, that's okay. We're not gonna do that. Britt Mira equals sexy, and Billy Robert. Gotta keep stopping myself. Billy Robert, but so toxic. You know what I say? For Jive with Jack, I want all the toxic fans. I want the Snyder toxic fans. I want the Star Wars toxic fans. I want any of them. The Sex and the City toxic fans. Those of you who hated Sex and the City too, which I have never seen. But even those of you, we want you on this show. We want you to have your hate and just put it in the comment section. We won't judge. We won't judge you. We want the Star Wars ones, the Star Trek ones, the toxic ones. We want you too. The gamer ones, the ones who hated The Last of Us Part 2, will take you too. The Pop Culture Corner takes in all the toxic fans. Yeah, Jiving with Jack. 11 here, only 8 likes. Yeah, guys, what the hell? Guys, so Tyler, 11 others are likes. 8 likes, 3 of them are the dislikes. Even with Jack Attack Hack. That's what we'll call it. Listen, before we go, let's have one more word from one of our sponsors. Stick around. We're not done yet.
We are brought to you today by Kai CBD, a Las Vegas-based health and wellness brand that crafts a full-spectrum CBD hemp-derived product line. Made with 100% love, the brand was created by a 20-year licensed massage therapist for her husband who suffers from chronic pain. Healing is what Kai lives for. Head over to their Facebook or Instagram and mention Pop Culture Corner to receive 10% off your order of all or any of their CBD-derived product line. Guys, their website is in the works. Head over to their Facebook or Instagram. The links are in the description below. Mention Pop Culture Corner and get 10% off. This ad is an easy one for me. Easy, as I use the products myself. They are wonderful. So head over, mention Pop Culture Corner, and get 10% off your order of all orders forever.
There you go. Thanks a lot for that, Billy. So we have 13 views right now. See, we talk about Snyder and the fans, they can hear us. It's like we're like the Snyder whisperers. Everyone comes back. How excited are you guys for Army of the Dead? Because there's a lot of talk about the Snyder Cut, but I'm really excited for Army of the Dead. Yeah, let's talk Snyderverse. Let's talk Snyderverse. Let's talk Army of the Dead. I want to see, honest to God, there was nothing in the Zack Snyder film that at all like conflicted with the subsequent films. The only thing people mention is that, well, in Shazam, he's wearing the blue suit again. They could easily have a joke in Shazam 2. It's like, yeah, man, I ran into Superman who's wearing a black suit. I asked him to put on the blue one just to come out and meet my friends. And boom, you're done. You've solved that problem. That's why he's wearing the blue and red suit. And by the way, are you guys doing your job in disliking the Joss Whedon trailer and reporting it as misleading? Other people have done that. I might have done that because it is misleading. That's not Justice League. And it's still using footage from the Snyder Cut, you know. So, yeah, it got a Cinemark release. So I guess it's not going to be everywhere. I'm curious, you know, Army of the Dead theaters. So I would love to do this. Oh, yeah, it's only at Cinemark. Oh, there's a Cinemark here in Philadelphia. There's one Cinemark in Philadelphia. It's 9 miles away. Did not know that. Okay, so yeah, maybe we'll do that. But we're a showcase, you know, showcase is our thing. So, but yeah, I would love to see Army of the Dead in theaters, but like that movie, I think is going to be so freaking fun. I think Netflix, here's the thing with Netflix. They have so much money because they were the first streaming site, the first real streaming site. They have so much money and have such an audience. They can make a lot of stuff. They can just throw everything to the wall, see what sticks. And you can tell with Zach, they just said, how much money do you want? 100 million? Yeah, we'll give you 120. Go have fun. You know? And look at Chris Nolan. Chris Nolan left Warner Brothers. And I think Zack Snyder, I don't know what his deal with Netflix is. Is it one movie? But could you imagine if he becomes exclusive to, let's say, Universal? That'd be kind of cool. I mean, he gets to do whatever he wants. It'd be kind of funny if HBO, I think HBO Max, look, HBO Max is doing really well. I would say the first year of HBO Max has been better than the first year of Disney Plus. Hear me out. The first year of Disney Plus, we had The Mandalorian. And that was it. You know, the Marvel stuff is now coming. Now we got WandaVision. Now we got Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now you're getting Loki. Now things are kind of kicking it up. But the first year of Disney Plus was okay. It was good, but it could be better. It was okay. The first year of HBO Max, I mean, just with the Snyder Cut announcement alone, they just went into another stratosphere. And however you feel about this deal with Warner Brothers for the movies, we got to see Godzilla versus Kong during the pandemic. We got to see Wonder Woman 1984, for better or worse, during the pandemic on Christmas Day. We got to see Mortal Kombat during the pandemic. And we're going to see a lot of other movies up to and including Suicide Squad during the pandemic. Although we do encourage you to go to the theaters, which is right now a good time to plug why you should go to the theaters. We'll be right back.
We are brought to you today by Showcase Cinemas Deluxe. Right now, Mortal Kombat is in theaters, and we were live from inside the theater for all-day coverage of the film on April 23rd. Make sure to get out and support your local theaters now. See these larger-than-life movies the way they were intended, on the largest screen possible. Showcase offers X+, which is their large premium format theater. Not only do you see and hear the film, but you become a part of it as well. Find out where your local Showcase Cinemas is by heading to their website, www.showcasecinemas.com. Again, that's www.showcasecinemas.com, or by clicking the link in the description below. Remember, be Showcase safe. Showcase has implemented several protocols to ensure that your focus remains on the film, not on the pandemic, including new ventilation systems in each theater to ensure proper airflow, sanitizer on every wall, and so much more. Enjoy the movie the way it was meant to be, with a night out to the theater.
Don't become cable television. Yeah. Well, I figured I might as well do that, you know, we're talking about movie theaters, but wait. Regular TV has commercials too. just DVR, just pause for 30 seconds and then skip. But yeah, speaking of the Snyderverse, I think October is our deadline. They're doing DC fandom in October. If they don't announce anything by then, I'm not saying give up, but I think that will be a sure sign. But interestingly enough, on his Vero, Zach has been saying, just keep watching the movie. Keep watching the movie. How many times have you guys watched the Snyder Cut? I'm curious. I have not seen it. I mean, I've seen it a bunch, but not as much as other people. I think Ty saw it like 4 times the first weekend, courtesy of Warner Media. I've seen it. I've seen it 4 times from beginning to end. 4 times, 4.5 times, because I put it on while I was barbecuing outside one day. And I didn't finish it, though, because I wasn't barbecuing for 4 hours. But, how many times have you guys seen the Snyder Cut? And you should keep watching it. Have you guys seen the Justice is Gray edition? Let me know about that. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. You watched 8 times. Oh, boy. Wow. That's not bad. Tyler's seen it 7. Okay. I still want to save it, I don't know, maybe for a big holiday weekend, I don't know, the 4th of July or something. Just keep saving it for important days where you're at home, you have no distractions, put the surround sound up. Listen, I want to appreciate you guys coming on today. I know Austin had a family emergency. He was telling me about it. He still tried to do the show, but unfortunately he had to duck out. Adam's only at 3. That's fine. I say it's like fine wine. You want to take it slowly. Don't worry about it. You got plenty of time. And look, if they announce that they're going to continue Justice League 2 and 3, you'll know. Listen, do me a favor. Check out our merchandise store. The links are in the description below. Look, those wife beaters look really cool. The proceeds go to us. It helps us build Pop Culture Corner. We got a lot of cool stuff. And yeah, look at that. Oh, bottom right-hand corner, or bottom right there. Jiving with Jack t-shirts, baby. Yeah, look at that pink color. Jiving with Jack is going to be here in a couple of weeks. I'm actually working with a DJ friend of mine to come up with a little bit of music. And yeah, guys, I really appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow night. We're doing a quick dip into the Skywalker saga, and we'll be focusing on the movies. So episodes 1 through 6. I know Austin's going to want to talk about The Last Jedi. We're going to try not to talk about The Last Jedi, but if we have to talk about The Last Jedi and how it ruined the Skywalker saga, we'll get into that. But tomorrow night, we'll be there. Tomorrow morning, them sexy, dude, you have no idea what my promo for the opening is going to be. If I can get it done, it should be funny and hilarious. Tyler knows what my idea is for the opening. Ty got out of those quick. But listen, here's the honest truth. We do need your support. So let me just thank our patrons real quick. I don't think we have it here, but let me think. I think it's Caden Reed, Nick DePalma, Odd, Adam Silvestri, Billy Robert, singular. That one, Carlos, and I'm sure I'm missing some of your names, but I really want to thank you guys for the support. I know times are tough right now, but the patronages really help us. When we first started doing this, or when Ty and Justice first started doing it, we had to wait till we could do proper streaming. So we were doing I think 720p streaming. Then we had to upgrade to HD. And streaming, you'd be shocked, is very expensive. I did not realize how expensive to do live stream, but we like live stream. So, oh, look at all these guys thanking me. Odd, Nick DePalma. There we go. Billy Robert. But I've been saying it right. Billy Robert, singular. I've been saying it right. I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight. That one, Carlos, Nick DePalma, Caden Reed, and all these guys, ODD. And listen, if you can become a patron, the links are in the description below. You get exclusive merchandise. You get to see the Gina Carano thing that I have right here. I can't show it to you because, let's just say it's kind of rated R. It's a signed image. And you'll want to see this one. Yeah, you get to see it. In fact, if you contribute to $20, I'll send this to you with a bottle of lotion as part of being our patronage. So I can't believe I said that. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Tomorrow morning, make sure you listen to the morning pod with TY and Austin. And then tomorrow night, we're going to be doing quick dip into the Skywalker saga. And then Thursday, again, we'll have the morning pod. And Thursday night, we'll be back with TY's Corner. Guys, thank you so much. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your families, tell your loved ones, tell everyone about this show. And always remember, we do it for you and we do it for the culture.